Why did you choose this life?
What life?
To be a great warrior.
I chose nothing. I was born, and this is what I am.
No, so crazy as you look.
I told you, I'm a man of my word. Where's the Italian?
Wait. Dr. Man, what do you do with all your money?
You see, I'm a guy of simple taste. I enjoy, dynamite, and gunpowder, and gasoline.
What's it?
And you know the thing that they have in common? They're cheap.
Said you were a man of your word.
Oh, I am. I'm only burning my half. All you care about is money. This town deserves a better class of criminal. And I'm gonna give it to them. Tell your men they work for me now. This is my city.
You won't work for a freak.
Why don't we cut you up into little pieces and feed you to your pooches? And then we'll see how loyal a hungry dog really is. It's not about money. It's about sending a message. Everything burns.
I saw those ships smashed on the rocks. How can this be?
We saw but a fraction of the monster that is Xerxes' army.
There can be no victory here. Why do you smile?
Arcadian, I've fought countless times. Yet I've never met an adversary who could offer me what we Spartans call a beautiful death. I can only hope, with all the world's warriors gathered against us, there might be one down there who's up to the task.
I do see you in a violent way.
Explain.
You exude violence. I don't need to watch you beat the crap out of somebody to see it. It's in how you carry yourself. Now, my point is that we need violent people. We need violent people who are under control, not the control of the state, but
Right.
self-control.
No, I agree with that.
And so my feeling is, am I at risk if you and I go into a bar? No, I'm safer if you and I go into a bar than if I go into a bar by myself. I wouldn't be embarrassed or afraid to show that side. We can see it. It's how you carry yourself.
Hey, Shalom. All praise is glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Bahar Kakadash. And much love, blessings, and endurance to Lord's beloved, the house of David, the elect, that have obtained it. And judgment to all the false notices, judgment to all the fake ones. Now, the meek shall inherit the earth. And, just like many other words and topics, like, people get misconstrued because they don't have the Lord, they don't have the word of power really as they say they do. People think of the word meek and they think like someone that's just like is shy and doesn't have any force, doesn't have any power, but that the word meek, when you really go into it, meek is someone that has power and force, and that it's under control, like anger under control. That time when Moses hit the rock, the Lord said, you're not going to enter into the land because you got angry, and you didn't give the praise to the Lord, but the point of the matter is that the Lord, he saw Moses and he's seeing his elect right now, and that we have power under control, like violence under control. You know, be angry and sin not. You know, and a wise man. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad. And this kingdom, this world has been built up by violence, the violence of the wicked. You know, murder, theft, slavery, oppression, all these things. This kingdom, this world has been brought up by violence, and it's going to go down by violence. But what the Lord is using, he's using us as a weapon, and the weapon is this word. This word is violent. This word is a weapon, okay, when used and handled correctly. So that's what we have, and that's what we are. We're under control. We have the power, the force. You know, we're men of war. We're the Lord's battle axe and weapon of war, and we're breaking nations, kingdoms, chariots. You know, whoever doesn't have the mark, Ezekiel 9:4 to like verse 7, whosoever doesn't have the mark of exemption, right? The Lord said to go out and slay man, woman, child, those that don't have the mark of exemption, being exempt from the condemnation and the judgment that's coming, because what's coming and what's about to happen is the world's going to be made a lake of fire. And if you're not repented, and if you're not, the Lord said, if any man love not Yahushua, if anyone doesn't love Yahushua and Mashiach, let them be anathema maranatha. Anathema maranatha means something that's set up or still standing, but that's cursed, and that's going to be destroyed when Yahushua comes back with a sword, not with peace. So it's a balance, and that's exactly what we have. Psalms 22:26, the meek shall eat and be satisfied. They shall praise the Lord that seek him. Your heart shall live forever. You see that? Our heart is going to live forever. And our words hold so much weight. They hold so much power. And if people see this word, this new speak, right? This like new speak in this language, this bastard tongue, like English, like spell, you know, spell, like everything you say, you have to be very cautious and aware of what you say, what you say. Because out of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So you really have to have the new heart of flesh to be speaking right. Because talk is, shame and honor is in talk, is in speech. Right? Psalms 37:11, but the meek shall inherit the earth. See that right there? We're going to inherit the earth because we have we're mad. You know, surely oppression makes a wise man mad. We're wise men. You know, yes, we're mad. You know, the Lord said in Ephesians, be ye angry and sin not. So, you know, with a lot of our people, they can't really control themselves. So, like, they'll get on these videos and they'll just, instead of bringing out the word and precept upon precept, they'll just start going on rants and complaining about them. You know, me. No one says thank you to me, and this, that, and the third. A lot of you guys, and you know who you are at this point. Everyone knows who they are. Everyone's going to their like. You know, the Lord said, be angry and sin not. And don't let the sun go down on your wrath, because the wrath of man worketh not righteousness of God. Matter of fact, let me go to the book of Romans real quick, because I was doing my studyings. And we are the friends of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and we're very similar to our forefathers in what they said, what they did, what they accomplished, what they were given. You see? So when you go to Romans 14 and Romans chapter 4 and verse 15, it says, because the law worketh wrath. You see, the law worketh wrath. For where no law is, there is no transgression. Therefore it is of faith, that it might be by grace, to the end the promise might be sure to all the seed, not to that only which is of the law, but to that also which is of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all. Here's the point, 17. As it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations, before him whom he believed, even power, who quickeneth the dead, and calleth those things which be not as though they were. You see that? That's the point. Calleth those things which be not as though they were. So prophesying, right? Same thing with the word of the Lord. He spoke things into existence that wasn't there yet. You know, let there be light. Before he had said that, there wasn't light. And then he said it, and then it came. So the same thing when the Lord healed people. The same thing when he told certain things to Abraham. He would be a father of many nations. He would have an heir, you know, even if he didn't have it at that very moment yet. He said it, and in the processes of time, it happened. And this is why the Lord said, be a patient. Here's a faith in the patience of the saints. Because time with the Lord is different with our time. You say 1,000 years is as one day to the Lord. So let me go to Numbers 12 and 3. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord was able to use Moses because Moses made himself available. And a lot of people, they're not making themselves available. They're putting the Lord off in what he's saying, his signals, right? His signs, his vision. They're putting it off, and they think there's something better that they can do, you know, whether it's a job or this or that. And like, they don't understand the power of the Lord, so it can't flow through them, and they can't be magnified. They can't be raised up in these last days because they have idols still in their heart. A lot of you guys still have idols that's holding you back. You know, you're putting your trust in other things that are not the Lord, that are not spirit, but are flesh. So the word for meek, it says humble, lowly, meek. It says gentle, right? And that's what the Lord said. He said the servant must not strive, right? Strifeful and debating, but be gentle, slow to wrath. Let's go to what Yahushua said, Matthew 5 and 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Now let's get the word for inherit. See, we have power that's under control. We don't have power. See, the wicked, they have power, but it's out of control. You see, it's not in control. So they'll have a lot of riches or this or that, but they're out of control. You know what I'm saying? It's heavy. So the word inherit is to receive the portion, to be an heir, assigned to one, receive as one's own or as a possession. You see, partaker of, become partaker of. So we've become partaker of the Lord's duty and of his will and of his sufferings on this earth, because we're reigning with him. Psalms 37:11. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. You see, we actually have peace. This world is not in peace. It's in an unease. This world and these people, they're diseased. They're not at rest because they don't have the peace of the Lord. Isaiah 29:19. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. You see? Zephaniah 2 and 3. Seek ye Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Let me just get this word. We have worked, right? We've worked his judgment. We're working out his judgment. We're showing his judgment. The word wrought is to make, is to work, practice. And when you go to the book of Psalms, it says how the righteous mouth shall be full of judgment. And that's what we're doing. We're judging righteous judgment, not by the outward appearance, but by righteous judgment. And how do you judge someone? You judge someone righteously by listening to what they say, to their answer, to their speech, to their tongue. Do they have the tongue of the learned? Do they have the tongue of repented and a new heart of flesh? Or are they just out of control, not controlling their tongue, not controlling their temper, not controlling their spirit. A lot of people in these last days, their flesh is controlling their spirit. But the special thing about us few elect is that our spirit is in control of our flesh. Psalms 37 and 30. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. You see that? So without wisdom, the Lord doesn't love anyone. The Lord said, the Lord loveth none but those that dwell with wisdom, right? In Wisdom of Solomon. Jude 1 in verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. We see people speak against the Lord. They're not speaking with the Lord because they're not walking with, they don't agree with the Lord. So there's no power. If you don't really agree with Yahushua and everything he said and everything he did, then you're not going to be walking. He's not going to be walking with you, and you're not going to be walking with the Spirit. That's what the power of agreement all is. It says verse 16, these are murmurers, complainers. You see, complainers. Walking after their own lusts, in their mouth speaking great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. So another point of this lesson I want to say is, like, a lot of guys, they use this truth, they use a Bible, and they think that, oh, I have to get accolades. People better, praise me and worship me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, powers, like I use that lesson, man, the Vikings, power is only given to those that lower themselves to pick it up. And a lot of guys don't want to lower themselves. They just want to be exalted without humbling themselves. It doesn't work that way. You have to humble yourself. Humility goes before honor. Pride goes before a fall, you see? So the point is, right, a lot of people in these last days, they're out of control, man. They're out of control. They're out of order. And our God is not the God of confusion, but of peace and of order. Luke 20 and 46 says, beware of the scribes. Verse 45. Then in the audience, all the people, he said unto his disciples, beware of the scribes which desire to walk in long robes, and love greetings in the markets, in the highest seats in the synagogues, in the chief rooms at feasts, which devour widows' houses, and for show make long prayers. The same shall receive greater damnation. You see that? They want to be in the highest seats. They love to be greeted and, hey, shalom, hi, whatever their name is. So what the whole point of the Lord saying these things is to do the complete opposite. Don't do that. The Lord said to what? Take the low seat. When I've been into a marriage, take the lowest seat. Don't take the high seat. Take the low seat. Humble yourself, and the Lord will exalt you in due time. Just be patient. But a lot of guys, they've lost patience. When you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, it says, woe unto you that have lost patience. Woe means destruction, desolation. Luke Luke 17:10. So likewise, yea, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done what that was our duty to do. You see that? Unprofitable servants, because we were supposed to do this in the first place. We're not supposed to. Matter of fact, let's go to the next scripture. This is right, Colossians 3 and verse 22. It says servants. I'll start verse 20. It says, I'll start verse 18. All right, family relations, because we are the family. We are the first family. Those are doing the will of Yahweh Shai in these last days. Not just saying it, but actually doing it. There's a big difference. A lot of guys, they just talk. A lot of women, they talk, but not a lot of people are actually doing, fulfilling love. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fear and power. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men. You see, so when we do these lessons, we're not doing it unto men. We're doing it unto Yahweh Shem Shai. So whether we get 1 view or 3,000 views, it's not about that. It's about the elect being comforted, the sheep being fed, and growing unto that perfect measure of Yahweh in Yahweh Shai, the perfect man. Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance. For ye serve Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. You see that? The reward of inheritance. You're gonna have a lot. If you've been faithful with a little, the Lord's gonna give you a lot more, because you've proved that you were faithful with a little bit, which is another person's riches. You know, you've been faithful with these riches of this world, and you know, which is not even our riches, because this is not our world. Well, the Lord just said, I'm gonna give you what is your own now. Your true riches of everlasting life. Proverbs 18 and 24. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Like, a lot of guys don't even show yourself friendly, man. Says, and there's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. You see? And that's what we are to Yahweh Shai. We're closer than my brother. He's a part of us. We're a part of him, and we're part of each other. And we're praying a few days. We're praying for the prosperity and the salvation, the inheritance of the elect. You know, we're praying for the judgment and the destruction, the downfall of this world. You know, and the weapons of a warfare are not carnal, they're spiritual, and they're mighty, and they're pulling down strongholds. The strongholds over our people, you know, and we're helping cleanse the sanctuary. You know, we're taking the unclean stones and we're putting them outside, and we're preserving the lively stones, the clean stones, the elect within. So this is wisdom. I'm gonna close off these couple precepts here too, and just make this point. This is Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 19. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. You see that? So this is really what it is. This is the end of this horrible, evil, satanic generation that has no fear of God. They don't obey the Lord. They don't listen to his prophets, his servants, which are us. They don't seek the Lord. You know, they have no care. They're careless, foolish, sottish children, and These are the moments we're in, man. The horrible end of this last generation. The Lord said, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. All these words, all these prophecies are being fulfilled. The elect, we're fulfilling the law, which is love. And we're showing our people what it is to be meek, what it is to be in the spirit, you know, having this power, you know, spiritual power, and having it under control, you know, not allowing anything or anyone to cause you to sin, you know, be angry and sin, not losing control, you know, because that's what this world is doing. This world is losing control, man. This morning, right, I was driving, man, and I saw these two birds of the same kind, and they was just straight brawling in the street, bro. These two small birds, man. And this one bird, right, it pushed him down into the sewer, bro. And then it flew off. And then, you know, I was surprised to see that bird that got pushed down the sewer. It actually came out the sewer, and then he walked around kind of like, he was like wobbly a little bit. Then he flew off too. I'm like, sheesh, you know. So even the animals are showing the signs of, hey, you know, friends are fighting against each other like enemies, and you know, of the same type, the same kind, and people shall fight and hate, love of many wax cold, you know, all these things, man. But see, that's the sign of them being out of control. You know, I've been seeing cars crashing right in front of me, you know. Drove from the gym today, I saw a car crash. You know, it's just, it's happening on a minuscule level, but it's happening on a large level too. Like, this world is just corroding, it's just falling apart, and you don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to be in the middle of it, you know. So just get out the way. Let these dogs fight, man. Just get out the way. Don't try to get in the middle of it. Don't try to stop it. It's going to drop. It's going to not be saved, man. This world is under a condemnation. It's cursed, this world, this land. And when you go to the book of Numbers, it says that the land cannot be cleansed unless the blood of him that shed it is shed. So all the murderers, all the evildoers, right, that have gotten their riches by deceit, by violence, right, uncontrolled violence, their blood must be shed, and then the land can be cleansed. You see? Revelation 1:5. And from Yahushua HaMashiach, who is a faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and hath made us kings and priests unto God and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. See, so we're a nation of kings and priests, and our sacrifices are being accepted of the Lord. And all these false brethren, they're in the spirit of Cain, and they see that our sacrifice is being accepted while theirs isn't. So what did Cain do to Abel? He murdered him. He slayed him. But all these things were written for our learning, that through them we might have hope, and that we'll have discernment and have power to be able to separate from people that want to do us harm, or that ain't right, or that aren't fully with the Lord how we're fully with the Lord, you know. As in Joshua chapter 13 and verse 30. So the thing is, with Joshua and Caleb, they was faithful. They had the power, and they said it, and they knew it, and they believed it. But all the 8 other spies, they didn't believe it. So their answer was full of doubt, full of weakness, full of no God. You understand? No power. All right, Numbers 13:30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. Right? We're well able to overcome all this evil with good. And that's exactly what we're going to keep on we're doing. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. You see, it's a whole different answer. You have the few, right? The 2 true ones, the 2 witnesses, symbolic of. They said, hey, let's go up at once. Let's do it right now. Let's go to inherit it and possess it. God is with us. Power is with us. The same power that just destroyed the Egyptians, he's going to go with us again now. Let's do this. But the other ones, right, they said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. You see? weak-minded. Understand? They haven't put off the weak nature. Still mortal men. A lot of our people, you Israelites, you still, it's like you put yourself on the same level of the heathens, man. Like, you think you're the same as the heathens. You're equal to them. They're just like you're on the same level. Because you're mine, man. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. You see, so Caleb and Joshua, they said that they were their bread. They were going to eat up them, you see. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our sight as grasshoppers, right? They looked at themselves little, like a grasshopper, you see? And so we were in their sight, you see? So they saw themselves like they were small, like they were insignificant, you see? But Joshua and Caleb were totally different, all right? This is, they said Joshua and Caleb said they are bread for us. You see? They are bread for us. Let me get that. Bread for us. We were just in such a remarkable time, man, and such a glorious time, and it's not the time to be faint-hearted or doubtful or, in the spirit of retreating or giving up. It's in the time of, the Lord brought us this far, and he's going to finish the work that he started in us, man. Right? So this is the book of Numbers 14 in verse 6. It says, and Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. Rent means you tear apart your clothes. You rip them apart. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If Yahweh delight in us, then he will bring us into this land, and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against Yahweh, neither fear ye the people of the land. For they are bread for us, their defense is departed from them, and Yahweh is with us, fear them not. But all the congregation bade stone them with stones. See, so all of our people wanted to stone them for having that fierceness, for having that belief, that courage. Same thing today, man. And the glory of Yahweh appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. You see that? So the point of this lesson is the meek shall inherit the earth. Those of us that actually have this power under control. Lord willing, when you was edified, all praises, glory, honor, fear, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Abba Ball, repent, and Shalom.
Peasant out, Pluto. Peasant out, Pluto.
buzzing out, Pluto.